Us here at the press conference for the 2016 RFD-TV's The American. I guess the easiest way to sum it up is, wow, another $1 million winner. Some great champions. We've got several of the champions here right now, but before we start bringing the champions up to the stage, I'd like to have a nice round of applause and get a few words from the man that has been the brains behind this for the last 3 years. He has been a pioneer in all aspects of rodeo. He's truly a guy that has put a lot of money in a lot of contestants' pockets over the last couple of years. Let's welcome Randy Menard to the stage with RFD-TV. Randy.
Thank you, Dave. Well, you didn't come to hear me talk, so I just want to say that it's so great to see so many great champs compete here today. It's so fun to see Wade win $1.3 million. The one thing we did do here today is we've always said RFD is about the cowboy. And we know that there was another association that put a rodeo on top of us to try to hurt this rodeo. It didn't work. They all came here. But we said we would not hurt them and keep them from going there. So we allowed all of them to get on jets and get out there to Scottsdale. So there's a bunch of them that had to fly out. I'm sorry. But we felt it was important not to hurt any of the Cowboys' career in trying to make a living rodeoing. So, I guess the last thing I just want to say is that to see Wade win $1.3 million here in 3 years has been absolutely more than what RFD would ever expect to see, and I don't think he's even it still hasn't absorbed into him yet. About the 12th beer tonight, I think it will, but
12th? Only the 12th? All right, well, let's I see 3 champions in the room right now. Let's get them all up here on stage at the same time. We'll have a little question and answer with everybody, and after we talk to them a little bit, we'll open it up on the floor. We've got some mics out here on the floor. Let's go ahead and in the barrel racing, Sarah Rose McDonald, please come on up. Let's welcome this young lady to the stage. Sarah and Bling won $100,000. Sarah, take a seat. Sarah and JR, I'll just say it simple. I'm going to butcher my Australians trying to speak Brazilian is just going to be terrible. So, JR, here, come on up to the stage. He also wins $100,000. And, of course, if he can get himself to the stage, the man of the moment, Mr. 1.3, or over 3 years, Mr. Wade Sundell, our Triple Crown winner, comes to the stage. All right, Wade, the best thing is this is going to be the longest you're going to have to sit and wait before someone congratulates you or hands you a beverage. We'll start with ladies first. Sarah, you've got this outstanding mare. Hold on to that and put it up right close. You've got this outstanding mare, Bling. You know, you blew onto the scene. You were the Rookie of the Year. Talk about how your career has blossomed and just how cool this event is here this afternoon.
Oh, well, I just grew up into a riding family. My parents, my uncle trains horses, and so, and just went up through all the rankings, through small shows to a little bit bigger shows, and then to the rodeo, and to be able to qualify for this big of an event is just, this is amazing that our event is getting this big, and great opportunities.
Well, speaking about great opportunities, talk about your mare, Bling. She's a 10-year-old mare. You and her just seem to have this magic connection. Talk about the connection between you and Bling.
I just love being around that horse. She's so amazing, and her presence is amazing. So I just owe everything to her, and, we've had her since she was 1, so I've just been able to see her grow up, and I spend pretty much, every day with her, so I know her inside and out, and so when we have this much pressure, it helps to have that good bond with her and know that I can count on her to show up.
You talked about the pressure. Athletes feel pressure, the horses feel pressure. You probably telegraph a little nervousness back through yourself when you're riding your horse. Talk about the maturity of this mare and how she does handle the pressure, because you probably were a little bit nervous as you came back in the finals, knowing that, you had a chance at $100,000. Talk about the maturity of the mare and her ability to handle the pressure of the moment.
When you get in that top 4, you just have to go for it. It's all or nothing, really. And and that's how she is. She's all try, and that's what she's going to do every time. So I just have to saddle up and jockey her the whole way and make sure that I show up also.
You know, you've had a great career so far. You were third in the world, I believe, last year in the WPRA, had a chance to win a world championship. How big a moment is this for you to be the champion here at this year's RFD-TV The American?
This is just amazing. Like, it hasn't even sank in yet. To run at a one-day rodeo for that much amount of money is just, you know, I'm just so thankful to have this opportunity and be here.
Well, on a sidebar note, you know, Sarah Rose is very good friends with a very good friend of mine, a guy named Davis Love, the golfer, and I was texting Davis throughout the event. And when I text Davis that Sarah Rose had won $100,000, I got a text back from him, and she said, "Tell her to let her know she won $80,000 more than I did this weekend. He only won 20." He said she's riding and I'm walking. So kind of cool when you have someone like Davis Love following your career, because he is clued in. I mean, he talks to me about you all the time, and he really loves it. It's kind of neat to have an athlete from another sport follow somebody in the world of rodeo.
Yeah, that's amazing because, you know, he's done so much in his lifetime in golf, and it's great that this is televised so a lot of people can watch it, and you know, to be able to come out here I'm from the Southeast and have that much support, it really helps when you're out here and you know, that far from home.
All right, congratulations. Let's have a nice round of applause. Actually, does anybody have any questions on the floor for Sarah? Any questions? I see we've got another champion. Come on up here, Clay O'Brien Cooper. I see you sneaking into the room. We'll get him. Okay, JR, we'll talk to you. Pass that microphone down. We'll go from the barrel racing to the bull riding. JR, you came over here from Brazil. You're a guy that shines in at&t Stadium. You've won the PBR Iron Cowboy several times. Then you come in here this afternoon. You're the champion in 2016 of the RFD-TV's American. $100,000 to you for this event. Got to be very, very happy.
I am very happy the win the event is very important in my life, in my career. Congratulations, the America. The best event in world. Congratulations contesting here. Thank you very much, sir.
Talk about coming up from Brazil. I'm not letting you off that easy. I mean, you speak English pretty good. You know, with victory comes the opportunity to talk, and you've had a lot of great victories. You've had a great career. Talk about this pipeline from Brazil for bull riders. I mean, there's a lot of guys that you had to look up to when you were starting. Who'd you look up to when you were a young bull rider coming up? Who was your favorite athlete in Brazil?
My favorite rider in Brazil, Fabrício Alves, is Guilherme Marque. It's good rides.
So it's a different thing, but it's neat to come up here and succeed on this level. It's got to be very, very satisfying because it's the pipeline. It just seems like every day you turn around, there's another new Brazilian face.
Yep, in Brazil is very popular. Is rodeo, is ours. Good bull ridings.
All right. Any questions for JR on the floor? If there's somebody that can speak Brazilian, I don't know if it's Portuguese, Spanish, or whatever it is, trust me, chime in. He'll probably have a lot of great questions. Any questions on the floor? Yes.
I'm also a rodeo in Brazil, and I'm broadcaster too. I'm delighted to be here, and also in last year, João win Iron Cowboy, and this year João win the American. And the Brazilian rodeo fans, you know João with João Durão, John Tough. In this case, I say in Portuguese, você vai ter que mudar seu apelido de João Durão para João Maldoso. John Bad, you know, 2 titles, the very important 2 titles in here. Congratulations for Brazilian rodeo fans staying here or watching our RFD-TV right now in coverage with me in social on the internet too, right? Thank you, João, for congratulations for your title.
Thank you, Gerson. Thank you very much, Gerson. Muito obrigado por ter feito as minhas palavras e fala por eles que eu conversei com você um pouquinho antes, falei tudo isso aí pra você.
I agree with that too.
All right. John tough and John silence. All right.
All right, let's have a nice round of applause for our champion bull rider, J.R. Barrio. All right, pass that all the way down to that legend on the far end beside another legend. Clay O'Brien Cooper, 7-time world champion, 29 times to the National Finals Rodeo. Whenever there's a big event, your name is usually synonymous with being a champion at it. Talk about the run and this event in itself.
Well, the event is something that, we're starting to look forward to be able to.
$100,000 will give you a lot of reasons to look forward to, or in the case of Smiley beside you,
Well,
a different set of numbers.
You hope you're in the top 10 so that you're seated, and if you are, then you know that you have a great opportunity. The run today, it starts with the header. Getting a good start and setting up the run and turning them fast. And, Derek, this type of setup is really one of his strengths. So I knew coming in that I had one of the best partners here for this setup. And he didn't disappoint. I mean, he hung it on that first one.
Derek, come on in here. He's bragging on you. You get a chance to talk
Gotta
as well.
brag on him.
Let's welcome Derek Gage to the stage as well.
So, the first round, that's the tough round, really.
The qualifying.
Right. That's when you really got to let it hang out.
Is there a strategy that goes into it depending upon where you're sitting? I mean, there was plenty of teams to go at it. Was it a case of, okay, this is where we got to be. We've got to be aggressive. We're going to stay off the barrier. How do you go about this planning?
In the first round, you have to be totally aggressive and just be as fast as you can, because we was down the list a little ways and there's already a 4 flat, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4. So it's putting together your best run to make it in. And like I said, Derek really hung it on the first one and turned him really fast. But then the strategy comes in. If you're able to go last in the second round, that's where the strategy comes in, because then if there's a mistake or two ahead of you, or the time is just a little bit soft, like the 4.9 was a good run, but 4 flat, is a really good run here, and it's definitely doable. So there was a little bit of, like I said when they was interviewing me, sometimes it's better you have to be 4 flat than be 4.9, because there's just a little bit of play in there. But Derek took care of all that. He turned him fast and let me look at him.
One of the things, and I trust me, me and a rope are two foreign objects, but I watched you and your horsemanship, and it seems like that you're always a guy that seems to be very, very close to the heels. A lot of guys tend to be perhaps a little further back, but you're so close. You're able to catch those steers on a very, very short rope, and that plays a heck of a lot in towards those fast times. So talk about your horsemanship and the placement to be able to kind of pick up pieces, because Derek will sling it out there. I know that for a fact. He'll reach out there and get one, but you're right there on the back end on a short rope.
Well, I'm 55 years old now, and I don't
so,
see.
Hey, I'm 56 and I feel young.
I don't see as far as I used to, so I got to get close.
Before we talk to Derek, do we have any questions for Clay O'Brien Cooper? Anyone from the floor? Well, Derek, you rope with the legend, 7-time world champion, 29 times to the National Finals Rodeo. You yourself an all-around champion in the Indian Rodeo Association. How cool is it to kind of partner up with Clay? You talked out there on the stage when it was talking about the practice runs, whether you're roping for $25 or roping for $100,000. Just talk about the synergy that goes into it and all the hard work that you've put forth to be in this arena today, because you truly have, showed up at the NFR, won tons of events. Talk about this event and all the hard work to get to where you are today.
Well, I mean, it's just, the guy told me back a long time ago when I was coming up roping, he said, everything's done in the practice pen, and you just got to kind of show up wherever you show up, and if you do good in the practice pen, you just kind of got to figure out what place you're going to place at the rodeo. So it kind of goes into that. I mean, the stage here is a lot bigger, and the money is huge, and it can kind of get to you, and it can kind of help you both ways. So, I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, there's a lot of times I backed in the box back at home needing to be under 4.5 or 4.2 or whatever, and my dad or one of my brothers probably healing for me. But I just imagine roping with Clay or just putting that pressure on myself back home, so when I do get to the real situation, it ties in a little bit. So, I mean, that's my kind of plan, I guess.
You know, the funniest thing is Clay talked about needing to go fast. In the first go, being aggressive in there. What is the secret to going fast to lay that barrier back, but yet not overextend yourself? Because, like anything, if you get ahead of yourself, fast becomes slow. What goes through your mind to kind of slow yourself down to make that run? Does it go back to the practice pen?
I mean, yeah, you just got to go in there and then, I guess just breathe. If you get to thinking about it a lot more and thinking about, okay, I need to do this, do that, do this, do this, it just makes it hard on yourself. You just kind of got to go back and think, you know what, I'm here because this is what I do. It's because I love doing this. And when you put that into play, things kind of go together. But when you start worrying about it and trying to think about it, it makes it tougher. And I think you kind of beat yourself that way.
All right. Any questions for Derek Begay on the floor? Let's have a nice round of applause for our champion team ropers, Derek Begay, Clay O'Brien Cooper. Pass that microphone down, Derek, to the quiet man. Do we need to call Uber or somebody right now? Because chances are you don't need to be near a steering wheel the rest of this evening. Let's have a big round of applause for our $1 million winner, Wade Sundell. Wade, what is it about this event? You are the first 3-time winner. You get to be the Triple Crown winner here at the American. What about this event? Because, it seems to bring you to a whole new height. I've watched you ride at the National Finals Rodeo. Yeah, you ride great there, but there's something about the American that all of a sudden, this is your house. Talk about it.
I think maybe I was born for this place. No, I don't know. When there's this much up for grabs, every time I nod my head, I let it all hang out and go for the gusto, There's no backup in this sport. If you're backing up, you're going to be second place. So, this format, going against a certain amount of guys and coming to a 4-man and there's 4 guys left, it's just something that I drive and thrive myself to just let it all hang out. And I'm honestly lost for words because I don't know what to say right now. I've never nodded my head for $1 million, and now I won $1 million. I don't even know what to say.
Hey,
don't
forget one other thing.
In my life.
It was $1,100,000. Just let's toss the 100 off to the side.
1.1. Well, I'm going to pocket that 100 and go beep off.
Well, speaking about, here's the moment. You said you're at a loss for words. You're sitting up on that stage. You've won the bronc riding. The things start going through your mind. And then you've got people behind you. They can take you away from that $1 million. You're going to end up sharing it. What goes through your mind? Because, as a young cowboy coming up, to think about an event like this being around for you to win $1 million. It's just not out there. Randy Bernard is the guy that came up with this. Patrick Gotch with RFD-TV stood in there behind it. It's just got to be an absolute dream to come true for you.
Since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, I dreamed of riding for something for that much money and winning, something like that. I never wish any bad luck on anybody, and I didn't today, but I guarantee you I was rooting for Sarah really hard. You just saved my life.
Well, she let you keep $1 million. Going from that, you could have been sharing $1 million, and I still think the smile would have been just as big on your face.
Oh, it would have been. My hat's off to everybody behind the scenes that you don't see, and everybody that puts this on. And this is the most amazingest event that you could ever come to, and it's crazy. just so
You know, the
glad that
fans
I'm
get
here.
into it. The fans get into it. I mean, from an athlete standpoint, to be a contestant, when you have that kind of excitement, it's got to just get your motor running to a whole new level. I mean, this really is a special place, and you've made it a special place being a first Triple Crown winner here of the American in 2014, 15, and now 2016, and now $1.1 million to go along with it. So totaling $1.3 million. You actually, out of a $2 million purse today, you won $1.1 million. So I would definitely say, where's the party from here?
Randy, where we gonna go? Wherever y'all want to go, I'm in, because we're gonna drink a lot of beer tonight. But we're gonna be good. But we're just gonna have lots of fun.
Well, you got to be very, very happy for what this event has done for you already. I mean, this has changed your life. It's life-changing, and it's all because of Randy, RFD-TV, and the American, isn't it?
No, I mean, with Patrick, Randy, and RFD-TV, you can't you can't get a rodeo better than this. And I've been rodeoing for a long, long time, and
No, the guy beside you's been rodeoing for a long time.
Yeah. And and it's an honor to sit beside this guy right here, right now, too. And it's just amazing to win this much money at one day event. And yeah, my life's just gonna completely change now. So it's hats off to y'all. It's amazing.
Well, one thing's for sure, Clay O'Brien Cooper called it the greatest one-day rodeo in the world. We've just seen lives change right here, and we've just seen Wade Sundell win $1.1 million. He is your saddle bronc riding champion. Any questions for Wade on the floor? Yes. Wait a second. They'll get a microphone for you. Thank you. And identify yourself, please.
That's Miss Lori.
Hi, I'm Lori O'Harver, working for Cowboys and Indians down here, but Bronc Riding Nation is pretty much what I do. I'm a dedicated bronc riding reporter. So, Wade, the American was created to make history, and I don't think any bronc rider has ever stepped up to have the opportunity at $1 cool million in 1 8-second ride. So, your history-making comment, what do you want to say to everybody out there who's looking at Wade Sundell now and going, wow, I want to be a bronc rider?
There you go. That's a good one to come back with for a 1.1, Mr. History Making quote.
Well, I guarantee it. You just got to bear down and just keep pushing on. You get bumps in the roads, and you just jump over them and just keep driving on. And I mean, just full steam ahead. And if you back up, you ain't never gonna go anywhere. If you keep going full forward, this will happen.
Thank you. Now, out of this whole pen of horses, if you would have had your choice of who you wanted to ride in the short round, would it have been Maple Leaf?
Yeah, actually, I did a radio interview with Steve Kenyon, and he asked me what I'd wanted to draw, and I told him I'd love to have Maple Leaf. And if I made the four-man, actually, I said when I make the four-man, I'd like to have Maple Leaf. And when I had it, it's just, I had to kind of moose-saw myself and bring myself down because I was so wound up and jacked up, and I knew I needed to kind of.
You wound up?
Well, wound up most of the time, but I was really wound up when I was fixing to get on that one,
Thank you, Wade. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, RFD-TV. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Lori.
Any other questions on the floor? Brett Hoffman, Fort Worth Star-Telegram, and many other syndicated columnists.
Wade,
put that close to you, Brett, please.
Wade, if you could, take us down to the bucking chutes and what was going through your head when you were in the final round and there was all this money out there, and knowing that you were in that loop of riders that could come out, that could conceivably win $1 million. Take us to that part of the event.
Well, I tell you, the one that I was most scared of was Court Shear on Medicine Woman. I won it on here a year ago, and that horse is amazing. And Court, he rides amazing too. And I was watching that, and I seen Court go 87, and I looked at my buddy BJ, and I said, "This is wide open. We're fixing to make history." That's the only thing that went through my mind.
We talked a little bit earlier, you mentioned that you'd had this horse before. You said, what, a couple of years ago or so? Do you remember when and where that was? Or
Yeah, it had been 3 years ago at Cheyenne. And it's a funny story because Heath Stewart, flank man, the year before that at Cheyenne, I was winning the whole thing, and I was 9 points ahead, and they bought me in the Calcutta, and I missed my horse out and didn't win Cheyenne. And they spent a bunch of money on me in the Calcutta, and the next following year I had Maple Leaf trolled, and Heath was hanging the flank on it, and he said, "Don't worry, Sundell, I didn't buy you this year." And I said, "That's where you messed up, because you're fixing to see something you ain't never seen." And I won Cheyenne on that horse. So when I was putting my saddle on her today, Heath come up and he said, "Don't worry, I didn't buy you, and I ain't betting on you." And I said, "That's where you gonna mess up, because we're gonna make history."
well, having had a great ride on the horse, did that help your confidence today? How did you look at it today?
It is, my confidence is high. I don't think there's anybody's got more confidence than I do right now. I mean, to win 1.1 million, win this thing 3 years in a row, it's a dream come true. You know, I mean, it's amazing.
Well, you're a guy that's a very well-known cowboy, and you know the sport obviously very well from all your success that you have. How do you feel the American, with the big payouts, the exposure, the TV, just being an incredible rodeo? What do you feel like it's done for the sport in 3 years now?
Well, it took rodeo and flipped it up completely upside down. I mean, there's not anywhere else you can go to and do what you do here in one day. I mean, it's the top of all of everything. I mean, I don't know anywhere else you can go and get on two horses to win 100,000 or win 1.1 million. And I don't know if there'll ever be a place that'll do that. And my hat is smooth off RFD-TV and Patrick, Randy.
Very, very, very good.
Any other questions on the floor? If not, let's have a great round of applause, not only for Wade Sundell, $1.1 million winner, and also our champions, Derek Begay, Clay O'Brien Cooper, J.R. Viguero, and also Sarah Rose McDonald's. Thank you very much, everybody. Congratulations to all our champions. Good night from The American.